8:46 in the morning. It is 14 away from 9 o'clock. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. In the studio with me this morning, Brandy Fleming and Jess Gallagher, both from ICCAP, and we're going to talk about a subject that we talk about this with Lisa Spencer when we do the point-in-time survey in January, and that's having to do with homelessness within Indiana County. And this little point of conversation is as well. Our conversation presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm, best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good. Wow, you did it again. Harmony again.
We're good like that.
Or unison, I'm not quite sure. But okay, let's talk about homelessness in Indiana County. It's not defined the way I think that popularly we think of it, is it?
A lot of times we define homelessness by what we see in the movies or what we see driving through Pittsburgh. They see the tents under the byways and the bridges, and you don't see that here in Indiana County. Mm-hmm. And about probably once a week, we get told we don't have homeless in Indiana County.
Sure.
And nothing is further from the truth.
Yeah. So, Brandy, how do we do it? What is the definition of homelessness?
So as far as the federal government or the state government, there are several different definitions. So HAP dollars are what we receive for our homeless case managers, and you are at risk of homelessness. So you might be doubled up on a couch, and you might be sleeping in your friend's basement or something. It's not your residence, but it's a residence that you're crashing at for a temporary period. Mm-hmm. So that's what HAP homeless is. Mm-hmm. HUD defines it differently. HUD says whether you're homeless, you have to be on the street or in your car to be defined as homeless. If you're doubled up with some other person that's being kind to you, you don't qualify. Yeah. So it's tricky depending on funding sources, what that definition is. But basically anybody that doesn't have a home to call their own.
Yeah. And so it is a problem within Indiana County, no matter how you define it. So we know that there are folks who need some help. Mm-hmm. What do we do?
So the best thing that we can do and what we provide at ICCAP, the service, is the homeless case management to get them back on their feet and the sheltering services. We had a congregate shelter that was open from 1991 until 2020 when the pandemic hit. And we had to close those doors to keep everybody safe and, distanced and all of that to follow those guidelines. But we moved to the sheltering apartments. We took some of our rental units and we made them shelter apartments for all of the homeless population. And we have been full ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. And so those folks who are in those apartments, are they still classified as homeless?
Yes, because they're under temporary shelter services. So mm-hmm. we go through the case management process and we try and get them back on their feet. Find employment. Is that your barrier? Is your barrier obviously housing? So we're going to get you into a housing search. Anything that will get them to be self-sufficient and sustained in housing, food, and security, and otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So just weigh in on this. What are some of the things that we can do or others are doing to help the people who are homeless?
I think the first thing we need to do is be educated about the topic. Mm-hmm. A lot of people want to say that people are homeless due to bad decisions, due to drugs and alcohol, due to mental health. And there are some cases where that is the truth. Mm-hmm. But a lot of what we are seeing today are families. They had a medical emergency. It's a mom, a dad, 2 or 3 kids. They had a medical emergency. They lost their job because of this medical emergency, and they lose everything. So the first thing we need to do is be understanding. Understanding that emergencies happen. Everybody is paycheck to paycheck right now. Yeah. And when these emergencies happen, you could end up in the street. Mm-hmm. And take the judgment away from the people who are homeless.
Yeah. And you said something very important there. Everything you said was important, Jess. But one of the important things that you said was, it's a family thing. And so if those kids are not, if they're in that category of homeless folks, it's much more difficult for them to attend school regularly. Yes, it's very, very difficult for them to come home and have a learning environment at home. Mm-hmm. a relaxing environment at home. It's really difficult on the kids.
In the month of June, 60% of the people we were serving in our homeless shelter apartments were families with kids.
Wow.
We are seeing more kids come through our homeless shelter now than ever before.
Yeah. Yeah. So all of that being the case, and homelessness definitely being a part of the landscape here in Indiana County, what are some of the things that ICCAP is doing? Because I know that you guys are always involved in something.
We are. So we have the temporary shelter apartments for the emergency needs, and then we have the case management. But we're also breaking ground on an application that we had just put in with the Office of Planning and Development's help, which we're so thankful that they helped us do that because it was a very encumbering task to get that application out the door. But the application was for home funds for a non-congregate shelter that we want to bring to Indiana. The emergency shelter apartments that we have are in Josephine, and that's wonderful that we have them. It's a roof over their head. However, the access to resources is so limited because of transportation barriers. They're out essentially in the middle of nowhere. So for our case managers to get to them, bring them in for medical appointments, to school, for all of those things, it's so difficult being there. So we need to bring it into Indiana, and that's the goal with this new non-congregate shelter, to give their sense of privacy, to increase the number of beds that we have, and to just make sure that we are transitioning people from homelessness to housed.
So this would be a shelter that is built or
Yes.
one that is acquired?
Yes, so it is built. We have a land piece in mind, and we are going to do a new construction. The grant is allowing for that. So there were buildings that we looked at with Office of Planning and Development, any that were vacant and to meet our needs, and they weren't economical for us. So the new construction was the piece that we landed on. And the property is actually right beside the back of Big Lots, the storage units. It's actually 01 Shelley Drive, and then the west end of Ben Franklin Elementary, where they have it fenced off there. So there's a section of overgrown land where we've actually seen homeless tents when we've been doing our property surveying. We've seen homeless tents there. So people are already staying there that are homeless. So we're just going to build up that area.
So the application is filed now or will be?
It is filed.
It is filed, and we hope to hear something before the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, from there, it will be a process. I don't know, you've got design, you've got actual construction, and all of the different attendant steps that must be taken. And I'm sure that you have a goal in mind to be open by, but it's really, I would guess, very fluid because of waiting for grant money to come in, other fundraising that must be done. You'll have to do all those things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to be ramping up on our fundraising efforts. Our fundraising committee has been getting back together and really going to ramp up for our food bank, for our Power Pack program, and for our homeless shelter.
So if somebody's out there right now and they think, I can actually help this situation, I can help ICCAP to do this, what should they do right now? Just wait for something formal to be announced, or is there something to do?
Give us a call. Give us a call. We would love to talk to them. We are always accepting donations. You can earmark it for the new shelter. But we're here to talk. We want to have a conversation about what homelessness looks like in Indiana County. And if you want to be on our team, we would love to have you.
Yeah. I think it's important as well for folks to realize that just because this will be built near the biggest population center of Indiana County in White Township doesn't mean that it's only for this area. This is Indiana County
We
Community
serve
Action.
the whole county.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is that most people, when we found jobs, they're in Indiana or they're in Blairsville. So Josephine is not a proper location to get to those resources. So most people that are finding jobs, the influx of them are in Indiana. So that's why we've chosen this central location. But no, everybody in Indiana County that has a homelessness issue, we are ready to help.
Yeah. So get in touch with the ICCAP if you can be a part of this process and help them along toward what is a very ambitious goal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
We wish you the best. Anything else folks need to know about all of this?
Just so you're aware, homelessness is a big thing in Indiana County. A lot of people don't know that. There were 400 referrals of homeless cases to us within this first calendar year.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that is an amazing number. All right, so the best of luck to you on that. You'll come back and you'll tell us about progress, I hope?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Brandy Fleming, Jess Gallagher, Thanks for the visit. We wish you the best. If there's something that we can do to help push this process along, you let us know.
Thank you so much.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. So we're at just about 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. Fox News comes your way then. And then it is a visit from the WCCS newsroom with Josh Whittison. And in our next half hour here on Indiana in the Morning, Marshall Criswell joins us. It's another installment of Martial Law. We had to postpone earlier in the month because of the scheduling, but he'll be back with us for Martial Law. Veldora Rice from the Indiana Theater joins us this morning at 9:45. It's Indiana in the Morning.
More choices, a lot more choices. That's exactly what you want and can expect from Lorelli's. Our selection of gemstone jewelry will accommodate virtually any color preference. You can shop from an endless array of styles and designs ranging from traditional to today's trendiest looks. Shopping for a diamond? It's here at Lorelli's. Every shape, every size, brilliant and beautiful. Exactly what you want and can expect from Lorelli's jewelry, quality, selection, and affordable prices in Heatherbrae Square.
I'm Jim, a local farmer, and I've witnessed year after year the decline in value and profitability of everything my family's built. It's heart-wrenching to see our family farm on the brink of being sold. The stress is overwhelming, and at times the thought of ending my own life seems like the only way out.
Remember, help is within reach. Please call the crisis line at 1-877-333-2470. You matter. Let's talk.